just walk us through what these last few months have been like for you, and getting ready for a return, and I guess what it's been like to watch the team play without you.
It's been a process. Obviously thankful for the support I had during this time. Obviously it's not easy, not being out there on the floor and having to watch, but with everything else, being around the team, being able to practice, being able to travel, the guys just constantly, talking to me and, vice versa. It's been good. So,
Ja, what would you say during this time are some of the main things that, you've learned and kind of re-emphasized for yourself during this stretch?
I pretty much just been, focusing on me, honestly, outside of, the basketball stuff. But, basketball-wise, just, becoming more of a leader, with my talk. Obviously, it's different when, you out there on the floor and you're not. So it's not too much I can say. Obviously, I'm not, out there in the fire with them. But, as much, coaching or things I see, I just tell them.
Adam Silver mentioned that he was going to have what he called a check-in with you. What was that conversation like? What was his main message to you?
It was good. He was just, checking on me, see how I was doing, how the process was going, pretty much that.
Ja, after the ouster by the Lakers, you talked about needing to make better decisions off the court. In the last few months, since mid-June, are there specific things you've done to help yourself maybe try to grow in any particular areas?
Just protecting my peace.
Hey, Ja, I know you're a superstar and all like that, but you first came back. How soon can people expect you to be back to mid-season form? I know you shouldn't expect the first game because it's going to take you time to get up. So how long should it take you to get to where you think you should be?
Hopefully, it do be the first game, but obviously, it's different when you're actually in the game, getting game reps. So I'm just trying to come back, do whatever I can to help the team win. I'm not forcing a historic game, my first game back. I'm just super excited to be back out there with the team.
Ja, basketball's been your life. How hard has this process been of the last few months? It's all you really have ever known. How hard has this been to be away and kind of being excited now that you're a few days away from getting back to what you've always done?
It was definitely tough. Some horrible days, it was tough, but like I said, to start this, with the support, that I had, throughout this process, it definitely helped me a lot. It's pretty much, all I could lean on, at that time. Obviously, basketball is, like you said, something I've been doing, pretty much my whole life. Something that's, therapeutic, for me. Obviously, taking that away, it makes it tougher, but like I said, I had, the right people around me, from my family to the organization, and to my other partners that, helped me along this process.
Ja, do you have a message to the fans who are eager to see you back out on the court? And what have you learned from this process, just personally and professionally?
I feel like my only message is, I'm just as excited to, see them, when that time comes. Yeah.
Ja, right here. Back in kind of that September timeframe, your team put out some videos, accountability on shirts, rebirth, gratitude. Why were some of those themes that you felt like were important to you and important to put out?
It's pretty much just something, we had to sit down and talk, amongst each other. Just, a word that, each one of us, came up with that, we felt like could help me get through, to send a message. And, they decided to surprise me with, T-shirts of the words that, we pretty much agreed on. So that's all that was pretty much behind it.
There was the first incident in March. You took time away to work on yourself, and then despite that, what happened in May that led to the suspension still happened. Why should people believe that the changes you made this time are long-lasting and sustainable?
I can't, make nobody believe me outside of my actions. So me answering this question with just words probably won't mean nothing to nobody. So.
Ja, two questions. One, just following up. What does protecting my peace mean? What does that look like? What does that mean?
Just doing whatever, I feel like that, keeps me happy, keep me in a good mood. Right now, honestly, I feel like the number one thing outside of, being around my family, and, having, more time to, spend with my daughter is, being around the team. I feel like that's, when I normally have my best days, when I'm normally in my best mood. So coming days, hopefully, I'll be, even happier when, it's a consistent thing.
And then there's a lot of people, whether it's written or spoken, who have told you or told the world like what you've done wrong. I'm curious, what mistakes do you think you've made throughout all this last year or so, if any? Like when you've reflected, what do you think you've done wrong, if anything, or do you not think you've done anything wrong?
I made a lot of mistakes, not some that's even been public, even with my family. It's a lot.
Hey, Ja, talk about how this process has been, man. A lot of self-reflection, counseling, talking to people, spending time with yourself. Just talk about how it's been over the last couple of months.
Basically piggybacking off, the things I said earlier, it's been tough. A lot of learning, a lot of teaching. It's been, a process. Obviously I wouldn't say, I regret it, but I'm, not happy that it happened. But I'm also, grateful that, I had this opportunity to, like you said, reflect and do things that, I felt like was not only needed for me, but, for my family, as well, for us to, realize pretty much, what's all at stake, ways, we can, keep each other happy and, how we just, have each other's back. I feel like we obviously been close before, but we came together, even more, during this process.
Has it been, as the losses have piled up, has that part of it been painful? And is there a part that makes you feel like you're somehow responsible, or at least in part responsible for that? Yes, it's definitely, some guilt in that. Obviously, I'm not on the floor. And obviously nobody likes losing. So, our job is to, go out there and get a win. I take full responsibility of that. Obviously, even though I'm not on the floor, decisions I made didn't allow me to be out there, to go to battle with my team. So.
How have you watched the first 23 games? How have you watched the first 23 games so far? And what is your evaluation of the team as you have been watching them on television?
It pretty much has been film study for me. Obviously, I've been with, majority of the players for a while now. Obviously, we got some, new pieces. So, me being, the point guard, that's, guys I have to, learn and, find out, where they want to be on the floor. As far as, where we stand, I'm not, worried at all. Obviously, we have guys out, but I feel like we've been preaching over the years, that next man up mentality. I say, I don't think it'll be long before we find it. I feel like we're taking strides, in the right direction as of now, as of late, and I feel like the only way for us is to go is up. So.
With that being said, Ja, what do you think? What's your level of optimism as far as like getting to the play-ins, playoff, et cetera? And what do you think about the play of Jaren Jackson Jr. and Desmond Bain since you've been away?
Playoffs and play-in is, a while from now. So, like I said, before, I take it day by day. I feel like, each day we can get better at something, whether, even if it's an off day, we're taking care of your body or watching film, coming to practice the next day, a shoot around or a game. Just having our focus, on the now. And as far as, those guys in their level of play, I obviously feel like, those guys playing at a all-star level, all NBA level. And when I come back, hopefully, it stays the same and, it just makes their job, even easier.
Ja, how is it for you to have Derrick Rose and Marcus Smart on the team?
It's great, honestly. two veteran guys who, you know, are very vocal in our locker room, who has been a big help, you know, from, you know, guys has been here for years into, you know, guys that's, you know, just coming in. I feel like, you know, those pieces for us, not only on the court but off the court, you know, will help us, you know, get better, you know, all around and, you know, excel and play at a high level.
Ja, you talked about the support you've received from your family, from the organization. What about around the league from fellow players? Have they given you their support, and also have they given you advice as well?
Nah, I didn't talk to none of them.
No other players?
Nah.
And that was kind of where I was going. Like, is that, you know, anybody you looking for as far as mentorship? Because I'll be honest, you know, people reaching out to me and like, can you get me in touch with Ja? I'm like, I don't know Ja. I don't talk to him like that. So I can only imagine people that's been talking to you. Is there anybody that you respect enough that you have been talking to as sort of like a mentor?
I feel like I have everybody around me now that, you know, help me get to where I want to be. No knock to anybody, you know, who's want to reach out or they haven't been reaching out to me. So no knock to them, but I feel like, you know, my family, the organization, my veterans now on this team is, you know, all I need right now.
When you talked about the learning that you did, who were you learning from specifically, or what? Were there other resources like books or classes aside from, you know, people that you were learning from?
Therapy, learning from, you know, me. Obviously, I feel like I learned some stuff about myself that, you know, I didn't during that, you know, process. Very eye-opening. Kind of gave me a, you know, a new look, you know, on life with, you know, how I go about my days, how, you know, I carry myself. You know, just being grateful and thankful, you know, that I'm, you know, still here and in the position that I'm in.
Ja, right here. Couple of quick ones, but you know, when this suspension first hit, it was a couple of months away where you're going to make your return. As you sit here now, just days away, how antsy are you that it's finally here?
I wish the game was just earlier, and it's me talking to y'all afterwards, honestly. But I can say it's been, you know, a while, but it kind of, you know, went by fast. I feel like I said earlier, what helped me is, you know, being around the guys, you know, as much as I could be. What kind of, you know, helped me through this and helped this, you know, suspension go by fast. I've been counting down the days, you know, myself. I wake up every day and be like, yeah, you one day closer. So.
And with everything that you've gone through and everything that you know is weighing on you as you start to play again, do you have to play, or do you think there's a fine line, not on the court, because you're not going to change the way you play, but with everybody, so many eyes on you now again, do you feel like there's a sense of pressure off the court that, man, I just got to walk that line and just be this NBA basketball player and a father and with your family? Is there a difference this time than maybe any other time you rolled out and played in terms of the pressure to do right as you move forward?
I feel like that's a good question. I honestly feel like, you know, I can't go away from being Ja. I feel like that's the most important thing, you know, not trying to lose myself or, you know, be somebody that I'm not or, you know, act totally different. But the change will be, you know, my decision making and, you know, how I go about my daily life of being, you know, a NBA player, you know, a father, a role model, a brother, a son. And just, you know, focusing in on that, you know, being, you know, the best Ja I can be.
You mentioned learning things about yourself. Do you understand now why the things that happened last year or whatever happened? I mean, do you have a better understanding of it because of what you've been through? What's that experience been like figuring that out?
Yes, but I feel like it's still a process. I obviously feel like, you know, I'm not done yet at learning myself or, you know, learning new things, but I definitely, you know, see why, you know, the things happen. But like I said earlier, you know, I can't say I sit up here and regret it because in the end, I feel like it made me better.
Ja, obviously the growth you made as a human, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the growth you made as a human obviously takes priority, but do you think what you've learned about yourself over the last year or so can help you level up on the court even more?
I'm just going on the court to be Ja, man. Honestly, just, you know, every time, and, you know, I step on the floor, just, you know, going out there and giving my all and focus on getting the win.
Ja, have you paid attention to any of like the polls or stories or just media talk about guys who they said have passed you since you've been going away, guys who got better than you? I personally got a little ticked off about it because I know you still him, but what are your personal thoughts on like the perception you've had where they say, well, this guy's better than Ja now, or this guy's better than Ja?
Who they said was
Man,
better than me?
Halliburton, bro. Who else? What's the dude who played for the New York Knicks, man? Brunson, all these dudes, they saying they're better than 12, so.
Hats off to them, you know, for, you know, leading their teams and, you know, playing great. You know, obviously, you know, the league has, you know, a lot of talented players. I have no say on, you know, who's better than me and who's not. Obviously, that's everybody else's opinion. So, yeah. I don't get mad about that stuff, man.
Hey, Ja, you know, a couple years ago, you guys always put a chip on your shoulder. Do you have that same chip and edge that I think may have been lost in the last couple of years? You know, y'all with this season, do you think you still have that chip, and how can you use it?
Yeah, it's a share size now, not share size.
Thanks, everyone.
Not a little small chip no more, it's a share size.